Hello everyone. So today's date is 13th of June 2022 and today our video topic is Spring Data JPA. So let's start. Spring Data JPA Spring Data JPA means Java Persistent API. So it is basically a tool or a framework from Spring Framework. It is basically an interface only. So let's see the use of what is the use of JPA in Java programming languages. JPA basically used to deal with object relational mapping. It is basically used to persist or to insert or to do manipulation of objects from Java to the database layer or database server. So let's first see what is ORM or object relational mapping is. ORM is basically the tool or the process in which the object from Java can persist in a database table, or we can persist any object from of a type of Java in a database table directly. So when we persist any object in the form of Java object, there can be number of fields which basically are related in the database table in the form of columns. So object can be a table name and the fields in the object can be columns, can be represented as a columns in a table, and then every object we create or we persist in a table, it will insert it in a number of rows. So this is how a table is created from one whole project or one whole class of Java. So in order to do all these operations, JDBC where we use primarily. After that, Hibernate comes in a picture. Hibernate is a most powerful tool or powerful framework which is used to do this object relation mapping for the developers. So why do we need JPA there? JPA is introduced by Java in the year 2006, but before that Hibernate was already being introduced by the third-party vendor in the year 2001. So it is being most popular tool for connectivity between the database and the Java programming language, and it is very much used to achieve loose coupling in Java. Because let's see, we have a project and in which there are number of players, number of classes. So whenever we want to get the connection from database, or we want to do any CRUD operations, we generally require to type a lot of code in our program. So Hibernate framework does provide us that functionality to minimize our code. It will accept the object from Java, and then on the basis of that object, Hibernate can automatically or can write a query and do the proper implementation, proper persistence or object into the database layer or database table. So JPA is simply an interface, and Hibernate, it is an implementation of JPA. So JPA only does provides some set of guidelines and rules which must be handled or which must be followed by the tools which are implementing it. So Hibernate is used by the almost all the developers in all over the world in the Java. So now Hibernate will implement the JPA interface. Now JPA interface, whenever we want to achieve any relation between objects and database, we must need to implement the JPA repository, which is an interface in a Java. So JPA repository, we have to give an entity to it with a particular ID. So as we know that the primary key is very much required in SQL data table. So the entity which is we want to insert or we want to do any CRUD operations on that, that we should give to the JPA repository, and with the integer or ID in the form of integer. JPA repository also implements some CRUD repository, and also some methods are there which must be implemented by the Hibernate. So normally how the flow is there at the time of project creation or at the time of project startup. All the objects of a class were created, and once we use JPA there, or once we use JPA interfaces for all our project, then all the classes were loaded by the Hibernate at the startup. And now whenever we fetch any query, or we hit any query from user, we want to add any object or any data to the data table, database table, then Hibernate does it through the way or to the interface of JPA. So let's see how we configure whole JPA into the Java project. So it usually requires STS IDE, then MySQL workbench, and any JDK version. So first we will create the project with a particular name, and in that project we have packages. We create a class with a particular name, and a number of classes can be there. So number of annotations are used for making the configuration of JPA. So @entity is used where if you want to send or if you want to add any object of a class into the database table. So @entity is used for that. Now @ID, which is used as a primary key in a database table. So in object which is we want to refer as a primary key, we should give that @ID annotation there. JPA also required a class path or a path to go through the database layer. So we must also need to provide the URL path for JPA to go through the database table. Also with the username and password which is required to log in or to enter in a particular schema in a database table. So this is about the very basic operations of Java Data JPA. Thank you so much.